exercises done with the cable machine. Alright, so I have 12 exercises I'm going to show you. That way you can hit this from every angle, not leaving anything out of your chest. Alright, my name is Brent Kasmer. This is BKPT. If you haven't yet subscribed, definitely subscribe. Mash that notification bell. As the new stuff comes out, you will be notified. And also, show me some love, give me some likes. Hopefully you enjoy this content and find it very, helpful, and it gives you that extra edge in making your body perform at an elite level. Alright? Woo! That was awesome. Alright, are you guys ready? Let's go. We're going to start off, we're going to do 12 exercises, and when you're hitting your chest, you have 3 different major areas. You have your upper chest, your chest major, and then underneath your chest. So, when you look at yourself and you're trying to say, hey, you know what, this is what's wrong, it helps you to be able to target those specific areas to make it activate and, do exactly what you want it to do. All of this comes about, you have to be at the right percentage of body fat also. You want to make sure that you're digging in, get yourself right, eat right, work out on a regular basis, but then it's time to get to the specifics and try to make sure you're doing the right exercises to hit the right areas. Alright? So I'm going to start off with a half moon. Half moon, I do this to, just honestly as a dynamic warm-up, but it also gets the chest activated so that way, when you're getting ready to hit it, it's all ready to go. So you got some blood flowing to the chest muscles. So you're going to go start off up high, you have the cables like right shoulder height, and you're going to come up and under and activate the under part of your chest, and then up, out and around, and then back on top, hitting the upper part of your chest, okay? So we're going up and around. This is not, so like when you're using flies and you're using an isolation movement, this is not heavy. You're not trying to overload the muscle. That's more for the bench presses and the decline presses and the heavy dips. But this is just to get some blood flowing to your chest so that way, you're able to stimulate it and make it grow. But I'm going to show you how to hit your chest hard in these cables as well. But just, a single joint movement, isolation movement. So when I say that, it's just my shoulders moving, right? So, compound joint movements when you actually want to work the muscles really hard. So that is the half moon, alright? So that is the best way to kind of get started, get your chest activated, and then we're going to move into the upper chest, alright? So there's a couple ways to do this. I'll drop the cables all the way to the ground, drop the bottom low. I personally like doing this with one arm because that way I can really kind of help feel what's working, and then also, you get to be able to move just very minute differences to find that specific area, alright? So when I come out, I'll take this down low, and the whole thing, you're trying to find the sweep. So when you come up like this upper angle is what's going to help you find and define that upper chest. So this exercise is a great one to do a superset with incline bench presses, dumbbells, barbells, whatever you're using. So we're going to find that area. Oh, that's a perfect angle right there. And you're going to go ahead and just sweep up like this, and you can see it's activated. This is that upper chest, the clavicle pec. So it's up there, it hooks right into the clavicle. It's the only one that hits at that, angle, so it goes down, towards the femoris muscle, and it's hitting right up here into the clavicle pec, and it goes in that upward motion. You can do this, with both cables. It's just the preference, because if you want to move your feet just a little bit, you can. But you also want to make sure you're crossing that middle point to get that extra squeeze, on the chest muscle. The chest wants to, you want to go across that midpoint when you're doing any type of fly for the chest. And you always want to make sure you're alternating which one you're doing over and under. And it's just about the squeeze. So you're just activating it. It's not like a major crush your muscles, put as much weight on it as you can type of exercise, all right? So that's very important when you're doing chest flies. Whether it's in the cables or whether it's with dumbbells or whatever it is you're using. Okay, so now we're going into the pec major, the regular, good old-fashioned chest fly that everybody you see in the gym doing, and you see them in the gym doing it like with as much weight as they possibly can, freaking torquing the crap out of their shoulders. All right, same thing. This is not a huge heavy exercise. Can you go heavy? Yes. It's not like you want to max out doing it though. So you can pump it up. You can get into it. You know, but the biggest thing when you're doing any type of chest exercises is you want to try to keep your shoulders driven back, so that way you're engaging your chest. You want to stay nice and tall because why? You're trying to work a specific muscle. You know, if you're going to lean in and go down with them, you know, wait until you put the cables up high, and that way you can hit that lower chest. All right, so shoulders back, elbows stay at a certain point, and when you finish that exercise, finish that movement, it's almost like you're trying to push your elbows together. All right, so I do this when I have open hands. I slap those handles together. It's good control. And same thing, you can do crossing over, but you want to make sure you're feeling it where you're supposed to feel it. So your goal is to hit that major muscle. You want to drive them together and feel yourself hitting that pec major. We're getting the blood specifically driven into that muscle, so that way when you go into a power movement like a bench press, you know, you're hitting it to its max degree. All right? Oh, this is awesome. So now we got them up high. So now we're going into a decline chest fly. So now we're trying to help that sweep from underneath the chest, that sweeps all the way around and ties up into that shoulder area. You know, so that way you're trying to lift the chest up also. So these are all important exercises, and you know, it's great to get them all in, so that way you're hitting all the areas of the chest, getting it fully activated prior to, you know, going in and crushing it. So same thing, single isolation joint movement, not supposed to be ridiculously heavy. Coming up and under and squeezing your chest like this. Same thing, you're coming up and under, squeezing and crossing over. And just feeling that muscle activate. So hopefully you understand that this is not a crazy heavy exercise. It's not super light either. So don't like go in there and put one plate on it. You have to understand, you know, the encompass of what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, do not max out on this. So you want it to be heavy enough to where you're feeling it and the muscles are engaged, but at the same time it's not hurting yourself. But that's a hurt yourself type exercise. All right, so those are 4 already. A couple quick things. These can all be done on a bench press also, all at the same angles. I'm just showing you with them standing. So you can be lying down on the bench and doing the upper chest, lying flat. I'll give you a quick example real quick. So if you're lying flat on the bench, like this, you'll have your feet over to the side a little bit. You just gotta find that same angle and coming up and across your body with it. So it's coming up like this. It's that same angle you would be doing if you were lying down, or standing up. So it's about kind of torquing your body, twisting your body to find that right spot, so that way you can, you know, hit it properly. So always cognizantly, you know, try to find that right area, so that way you're hitting the muscle properly. Woo! All right, so those are all our flies. Very important. Here we go. We're gonna dig into now the incline press itself. So when you're doing a fly, you know, you're opening your chest up, you're isolating it. Everything's an isolated joint movement. So when you're going into an incline press, you're gonna be going into more so of, a compound joint movement where it's more, multiple joints are moving, you're pressing. This is gonna be a heavier exercise. A lot of this stuff I like doing from a bench press, so that way, you're able to get a good squeeze and you're able to be locked into that machine and be able to push it a little bit harder. So same thing, you're here and it's going up. So you want to make sure your chest is up at an angle, you're arching your body, creating that incline press motion and coming up. Same thing, squeezing it together. Why would you want to do this in the cables? So there's many reasons why. Because when you're in a cable machine, when you have those dumbbells or a barbell, you hit that point where the gravity, the weight is all kind of like, at a point where there's not that much resistance to you, where a cable's consistently pulling down, pulling back. So when you're coming together and you contract that muscle to, its max degree, it's pulling it away from you and you're getting such a better contraction. Do I say use cables and only cables? No. But at the same time, it's a great way to really mix up your routine so that way you're getting a lot of benefit, the most benefit out of each exercise. It's a good way to dive in, hit it, get it going, and that way at least you're getting so much more out of it because you're coming at it with many different pieces of equipment. So just like I said, so you're arching that body and pressing up and handles together. So same thing, coming up, squeeze, driving those handles together. You can feel it pulling away, from me, and you're just squeezing that chest muscle as much as you can. All right. So that would be your incline press. I'm gonna roll this bench in here too, so you can kind of see why I like doing this honestly with the bench as well. So it's finding that right angle. Always make sure it's centered in the machine too, so that way you're doing it right. So coming in with the bench, you're gonna roll in, come to the one side, pull it up towards your shoulders, pull it up towards your shoulders, laying back, just like you would with dumbbells, and you're just pressing these up and together. So rolling up and squeezing. That's why it's so great to do in the cable machine. Just like that. So that'd be your incline press with the cables, all right? Both standing and on the bench press. So why do I say you use the bench press? Because you have that securely on your back and you're able to go heavier. You're able to push the muscle a little bit harder. So same thing. Pec major, coming forward with it. So this is one that you want to go a little bit lower than your chest, just because when you get a good stance, and when I say a good stance, you'll get an athletic stance, holding your body tall and tight, so that way you can actually push some weight if you don't have a bench press. Alright, so same thing, coming in like this, and you're just, my elbows are bent, and you're pushing together. Alright, my name is Brent Kasmer. This is BKPT. If you haven't yet subscribed, definitely subscribe. Mash that notification bell. As the new stuff comes out, you will be notified. And also, show me some love, give me some likes. Hopefully you enjoy this content and find it very, helpful, and it gives you that extra edge in making your body perform at an elite level. All right?